Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to actually go through something that I'm actually working on right now with this coupe behind me. And it's a very common occurrence when you're dealing with hot rods and anything where you have a lot of like aftermarket components and you're trying to mix and match. So in this case, the owner wants to use these original VDO gauges. They came in this hot rod that were placed in the owner. They've got some history behind it. So anyways, you have this set of VDO gauges, but for this car, it only comes with one type of fuel sender in the back of the tank. And unfortunately, this fuel sender is not compatible with this gauge as it sits, meaning that whatever this thing reads, when this is empty, when the fuel gauge is, well, when the sender is actually empty, the gauge will not read empty right now if you were to connect them. And likewise, when it's full, the gauge won't read full. So what do you do? So today, you and I are going to actually we're actually going to test out a product that I've been dying to do for probably about a year now. And that product is called MeterMatch, and it's made by Technoversions. And it's designed so you can take any, we'll call it any, vintage gauge that is resistance-based with any fuel sender that's also resistance-based, which we'll get into, and you can match the two. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're actually going to try and do it together. So let's go for it. Okay, so before we start diving into a solution here, let's talk really quickly about how these work. So this is in general for most vintage gauges. You have your gauge itself and you have your sender. Now your sender has, I'm going to bring this over here. There we go. So what we have here is you have your float, which is here, and you have with some sort of resistive strip, which in this case is inside this box. So as this arm moves up and down, it's actually changing where the point it's contacting that strip. And then that corresponds to a different resistance between this post, which is here, and ground. And so that resistance value is being sent over this gauge. And so this gauge is looking for a certain resistance value, which would indicate empty, and a certain resistance value, which would indicate full, and then everything in between. So in this case, this gauge is looking for at 0 ohms, it's empty, and at 175 ohms, it's full. Now the challenge that I have is that in the car that you saw behind me, that car has a sender, and again, it's the only sender I can get for that tank that reads 100 ohms at empty and 10 ohms at full. So not only is the resistance values different, they're actually flipped. So the next step is, let's go ahead and hook up that meter match and try to get this thing to calibrate. So I've got this thing hooked up. All three connections to the back of the gauge are here. You'll see that you have your power, your ground, and this is originally the wire that would go directly to the sender. Now, one thing you'll notice is I don't actually have that sender I was showing you before here. That was another sender that I had laying around. The sender that I actually am using is actually in the tank. But because I have this decade box, and again, another quick note is I'm going to leave links to all this stuff in the description below. So between the equipment I use and a link to the website for these guys that make this Technoversions products, they're great products. I've been using their other products for quite a while. Great product, great group of guys. This is this isn't a paid video by them. I'm not being sponsored by them. I just want to try out their product, and they've got good stuff. So with that said, let's do this thing. So got the gauge hooked up, got this guy hooked up. One note is use 18 gauge wires, because if you don't use 18 gauge wires, when you put the lid on, it has these little cutouts here. And 18 gauge wires fit really nice into there. If you use bigger ones, you're gonna have to modify this. Not the end of the world, but just a little note. And you don't need anything heavier than that because it's not pulling much of any power. So this is all hooked up to the way the manual explained. So you have, this is power in, ground, this is out to the gauge, and this is in from the sender. So again, because I don't have the actual sender in front of me, where I can physically manipulate it, I'm using the decade box. I did take some measurements on that sender, and I know that that sender, when it's empty, it's at 100 ohms, and when it's full, it's at 10. So the first thing we're gonna do is, I set this to 10 ohms, because this would indicate a full tank, and we're going to run through the instructions together, and set this thing up. So the first thing is everything's ready. It's powered off. This is my connection to the inside the decade box. This is all my grounds, and this is my plus 12, which you can't see here, but maybe there you can see that. So first thing that we need to do is we need to calibrate it. So the first thing to do is to set it to the high calibration point. So what we want to do is we're going to, it doesn't really explicitly say whether we power it up first or not, but we'll go ahead and power it up just for fun. Okay, and you can see this thing is, you see the gauge just pop like that. We're going to go to point number 1, which is on this little dip switch. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to adjust up and down until this thing reads 1, until it reads full. And you see what I'm doing right now? I'm actually using the down button, and you can see the needle moving. And what I want to have it, I want to be right at full, okay? Which is right there. So that's great. Now, I want to go to the low calibration point, which is 0.4. So now we'll go to, so now what we have to do is, we have to take it to 4. So I'll spin this over to 4. But then I have to move this to where my low point is. Which again, when this thing is empty, I know I'm at 100 ohms. So now I'm going to move this up to 100 ohms. And now I will move, again, now in this case, you can see I'm pushing the up button, but I'm at 100 ohms here. This is 10 tens and zeros. And I'm going to move this down to where it hits at 0, which is right there. So now, in theory, I'm just doing the edge. Now, you can do a lot more than this. You can do multiple calibration points. So if you have a different shaped tank, you want to get super accurate. But for now, I just want to show you the simple way. And now we'll move it back to 0, which is kind of the run position. And we will rock it. Oh, I forgot to save it. Huh. We're going to try again. So let's try again. So right now, I'm going to go to the high position again, which is at, I didn't save anything, which was nice. So I'm at 10 ohms. 10 ohms at the center is full. So let's go to the full position. And got to move this thing up to full again. So, okay, and then I hit save. I think I did it. Let's see, double check here on the instructions. Okay, and now we do it again. So now, as you can tell, now I go to the low calibration point, which is 0.4, 2, 3, 4. Change this guy now to, again, when he is empty, this should be at 100 ohms. And we'll move the gauge down here to 100 ohm to where it reads 0. Okay, and I hit save this time. Now, if I turn it back to 0, hopefully it's saved everything. Okay, so now let's test it. So now we have it on, and now I can basically, I can simulate the tank. So it's empty right now. So as I fill up the tank, it's going to go from 100 ohms down to 10 ohms. So now we have about half tank, about half tank-ish or so. Okay, cool. And 10 ohms. So there you go. It works. It's awesome. That's so cool. So now the next step for me is going to be putting this back in the car. But this is a great example. This worked awesome, except for me forgetting to hit the save button, which I'll probably keep it in there for entertainment value. But this works. Now the next step again is just to put this all in the car. This is already saved. This is saved in non-volatile memory, which means that if you turn off power, okay, and then you turn power back on, it's going to remember where it's at. So super cool. And then at this point, we got it figured out. Awesome. I'm super stoked. All right. So how cool is that? Using this little guy here we're able to use these totally mismatched set of sender and gauge, and we can make it work. So again, I'm super stoked with this. Thanks to the folks at Technoversions for making such a cool product. I'll leave the link below to their website where you can see they've got a bunch of different ones, but this one again is called MeterMatch. They've got other ones there, and yeah, they've been great support, good products. Not endorsed, just love their stuff. So anyways, thanks to everybody for all the support. Everybody liking this stuff. Getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is kind of blowing me away right now. But thanks to everybody, and I hope everyone has just a great week, and take care.